Every choice you make requires the destruction of an alternate reality. If you have exactly 40 hours to work this week, how you spend them dictates what never gets to exist. If you split your time between producing economics videos and weaving hats, every hour spent weaving is an hour strictly stolen from producing videos. It is a mathematical zero-sum trade-off. This chart maps those choices as a straight mathematical wall, the production possibilities frontier. On this line, you are operating at peak efficiency, perfectly allocating every minute of your 40 hours. Drop inside the line, and you are wasting precious resources. You have time and energy left over, but nothing to show for it. Try to reach outside it to produce more of both, and you hit a physical limit. Without more time or better tools, crossing that boundary is mathematically impossible. Human potential in this system is strictly bound by physical capacity. You are trapped by the math, meaning continuous growth cannot happen unless you figure out a way to alter the system itself. Scale this logic up to an entire nation. Common sense might suggest that massive scale eliminates these rigid boundaries, allowing a country to produce whatever it wants with enough manpower. But geography introduces a biological friction. Resources, soil, and labor are not perfectly adaptable across different industries. Corn and wheat share the same Midwestern soil beautifully. Plant tropical pineapples in dry desert sand, and they instantly wither and collapse. This friction dictates the price of specialization. When you force an economy to produce only one specific good, pushing farming into incompatible industrial zones, the resources required for every additional unit skyrocket. This chart shows how real-world friction alters our spatial boundary. It takes the straight line of perfect adaptability and bends it outward, forming a bowed curve. Scaling up does not solve scarcity. Forcing a nation into complete self-sufficiency ignores geographical realities and guarantees catastrophic inefficiency. You remain trapped by this curve unless you introduce a bypass mechanism, another producer. This graph compares our original limit with an artisan who takes 40 hours for one video but weaves 60 hats. The difference in these slopes isolates opportunity cost. The artisan sacrifices far fewer hats to make a video than we do. The solution is dividing the labor. We exclusively produce the good that costs us the least to sacrifice. The artisan does the same for their specialty, and we trade the surplus. This chart reveals the result of that exchange. By trading, our final consumption point locks in far outside our original borders. By specializing and exchanging surpluses, both parties move their consumption into that impossible zone. They are no longer limited by what they can personally produce, but by what they can collectively generate. Escaping the curve through trade is one strategy, but surviving on your own requires finding the absolute perfect coordinate along your existing boundary. Choosing between all videos or all hats is a crude way to manage a life. To find the most valuable point on the curve, you have to look past those total extremes and analyze the boundary in microscopic, incremental steps. The algorithm for optimization is precise. You weigh the direct benefit of producing one additional unit of a good against the specific cost of what you must give up to get it. This balancing scale visualizes the exact equation for efficiency. Optimization lives precisely where marginal benefit and marginal cost are perfectly equal. You shift your resources along the curve only as long as the incremental benefit of that next unit strictly outweighs the sacrifice required to make it. Optimization is a process of continuous microscopic calculation. Efficiency is found by constantly reevaluating the trade-off of the very next unit. The physical wall that dictates all of these limits is completely temporary. Give the system a long enough timeline, and technological advancements and infrastructure expansion will rewrite the baseline constraints. Triggering this expansion relies on a single lever: the trade-off between producing consumer goods and capital goods. Choosing consumer goods provides fleeting pleasure. You get a hat to wear today. But investing time in capital goods, building automated machinery, requires you to delay that gratification, to build compounding infrastructure. This graph illustrates the payoff. Enduring that sacrifice today to invest in capital physically pushes the entire frontier into the future. Yesterday's impossible coordinate becomes today's baseline. Economics is about understanding your constraints and calculating exactly which present-day sacrifices are mathematically necessary to construct an expanded reality for tomorrow.